Hello, friends. It's Chapo.
Hey, everybody. Chris here, producer Chris, with a quick announcement before we start the show. I am here to tell you that we are back. We're coming back, baby. The torture never stops. We are back on the road doing a tour of shows in front of the upcoming Democratic primaries, which means we are going back to Iowa. That's right. If you are in Iowa, we will be at the Iowa City Englert Civic Theater February 1st, ahead of the Iowa caucuses. And then we will be in New Hampshire, Derry, New Hampshire, at the Tupelo Music Hall February 9th, ahead of the New Hampshire primaries. We will also be coming to Las Vegas sometime at a date that Virgil has not yet sent me because he is not awake yet. That will be sometime the week of February 17th, ahead of the Nevada caucuses, February 22nd. So, again, Englert Civic Theater, February 1st, Iowa City, back to Iowa. We can't stay away. And Derry, New Hampshire, the Tupelo Music Hall, February 9th in New Hampshire. These dates and links to tickets are on chapotraphouse.com/tour. Nevada, we are coming for you as well. If there is a primary in your state, we might be there unless you live in the American South, in which case we will never come. So go to chapotraphouse.com/tour and then now listen to this episode of the podcast, Chapo Trap House. Let's go.
Hello, everybody. Chapo here. Okay. So, get down into it. You guys were there. You guys saw. You came and saw. Tell me, what did it look like when the fourth seal was open?
Okay, so we're standing there, right, in this, like, first you're in this like a kind of like a cafe, like a coffee gift shop area, and then the bouncer comes and they read you the rules. Don't touch. They will come to you. Then they lead you to this back area where you got to wash your hands, right, and then they take you inside, and it's just cats everywhere. It was. I never wanted to leave, and it was just. I think Matt said it was like they had like vaporized Xanax, just pumping that in there. Yeah, because it was the most calming experience. I was drinking so many beverages and seeing
those
all
were
of these
all
cats.
just full of toxoplasmosis.
Oh yeah, everyone in there's brain is just slowly being eaten by super intelligent larvae.
They have toys there, and they've got boxes, and also. About like an hour and 30 minutes in, I realize, I'm allergic to cats.
Yeah, that was the funniest thing. We went to a cat cafe, and Virgil was
Dinah's
being
Cat Emporium.
Totally
Check it out.
entranced by all these cats. Meanwhile, his face is slowly swelling up, and his eyes are getting smaller and smaller, and he just starts sneezing, and he's like, I don't know what's wrong. And I think we were saying, are you allergic to cats? And he goes, yes. And we're talking to him, and his features are getting harder and harder to make out around the swollen. It's like a loaf of bread baking and slowly filling up a model.
And there's a booklet there too that has all the biographical information about the cats, the likes and their dislikes, that sort of thing, paw size, and it also includes a manifesto, a section called Our Ethos, and the main points of the cat religion are: one cannot force cats to do anything.
Fact.
No animal stays in the cafe that does not wish to stay. Every animal has a right to dignity. Animal welfare takes priority over customer demands.
It's in the champagne room.
And the cats are always right. And honestly, I read all the UK party manifestos, and I think that one edges Labour's out for the best one.
Yeah, well, cats voted for Brexit.
After the apocalypse, that will be the new law. That will be the new order.
First of all, I think it's a shame that you are allergic to cats, and you want to have a cat's experience, but in a safe environment in which your body won't reject them. And I think it would be best if you experience cats in the safety of a movie theater where you can watch them on screen singing and being portrayed by human beings.
No.
Sort of sexy.
He cannot see this movie
Andrew
for his
Montgomery
own
musical.
good.
Oh yeah, me and the gang are gonna go watch it this weekend.
No, Virgil cannot watch Cats. It will trigger something horrifying. We can't let it happen.
Virgil seeing the movie adaptation of Cats in theater will be his final becoming. He will become the Red Dragon after seeing that movie.
Before him, we rightly tremble.
Yeah, I emerged from the theater like covered in ash. All my hair is burnt off.
Like dang Daenerys Targaryen.
I think you mean Nancy Pelosi. Where are we going with this?
Well, how about where you went? Why don't you start there?
All right, so we went to the damn England. We saw the England. We did the Iggy.
We did the Iggy. Sadly, did the Iggy.
We were there to do some shows and to encourage people to, vote for Labor. And apparently, dummies didn't get the damn message. Though, so we're all familiar with the election result. It was a really bad result for Labor. It was a good result for the Tories, who Boris Johnson won a majority, and they can do all of their evil schemes.
It was a load of bollocks.
Actually, the interesting thing, we saw a story today that you know how Johnson promised to do a wage increase, minimum wage increase, and avoid these cuts to the NHS or privatizing the NHS and all this money for schools and stuff. It turns out that may not have been honest or true.
What? Wait a minute. Are you telling me that Boris Johnson reneged on a promise?
I'm surprised.
I can't credit that as fucking plausible.
I'm shocked because when we canvassed door to door in a marginal district, a woman told us, an older woman told us, "Oh no, I don't think he's lying." So there we go. We had it right there from a real. Yeah,
we said
real
he's going to do this bad stuff, and she was just like, "I don't believe it. I just don't believe it. He's just too honest. Who doesn't trust a fucking canned ham with a wig?"
That's
well,
another.
He is doing some things already. I guess today he said he's going to end prosecutions of Troubles veterans. So that's cool.
Just a mass war criminal exoneration there.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Well, the children of Ballymurphy really had it coming.
Absolutely.
But I do note the canvassing, which we talked about at our live show in London, because the district that we canvass in, Doggoham,
Yes. The Heckin Pupper District.
that was a labor hold.
It's in Heckin on Pupper.
That was a narrow labor hold.
All thanks
we
to
did
us.
it. All thanks to Chapo.
We did it.
Chapo.
I say it's us.
Come on, bring it in.
We did it. As for the other
We did our part. Everyone
did it.
else fucked up.
Yeah,
as for the
everyone else
other
they fucking fucked the
649
dog.
constituencies, that's the other podcast. That was their turn.
Yeah.
Come down.
That
what
was
the
Pod
fuck?
Save.
Yeah.
Come on,
Pod Save the
you
Queen.
blew
What the fuck?
What the fucking hell, the dollop? What is wrong with you?
I mean, I guess I'm hoping you guys will take me through your Dante like trip to
The nightmare that I
the
wanted
A
to
nightmare
not
hell
remember.
island that I hope to never visit again.
But I mean, forgive me if you already discussed this, but I'm actually mostly curious what it was like for you three canvassing in Doggoham, like when you knocked on people's doors and they saw Matt, Virgil, and Amber. Were you guys all together, or
Yeah, we were dressed like the Three Stooges.
we all tried to get in their door at the same time?
We offered to move their grand piano. Down a
Then
flight
there
of
was this
stairs.
incident with a ladder. I don't even want to get into it.
We did various pairs and
2x2 cover
did a few
formation.
individual doors. It's a pretty diverse neighborhood. It's actually like for Matt and I, it was like it's a post-industrial town around the perimeter of London that used to have a Ford plant and now mostly manufactures unemployment. So it was like going home.
Honestly, I mean, maybe in terms of the general economic, conditions, but I just can't get over how different housing is.
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
I cannot feel
Yeah.
in any way at home.
It's much more
or that I'm
social
in
housing.
a familiar walking in that neighborhood with those tight little houses, like pressed up together.
It does
and
make you
and
think
those
that
odd
maybe there
curved
is something
streets.
to like actual just like architectural like sociology. It's like maybe if people have to like live next to each other, they do
It's
have to.
honestly true.
I really
It's
kinda
like
believe
the
that.
ideology of America is like carved out of its fucking road infrastructure. I mean, like
Very diverse
but-
neighborhood.
Yeah.
Lots of African immigrants, Indian immigrants. We saw a few Onslows. If anyone has ever watched Keeping Up Appearances.
No.
No.
Okay. Well, anyway, great character. I mean, I got a lot of labor voters. We did get some people who said, most of us actually got people who said they had always voted labor, but not this time.
And they all said it's because they just can't trust that bloody
No, not
Jeremy
even
Corbyn.
trust. Not even trust. It's I just don't like him.
Yeah.
Oh, I
don't know
got
why.
trust.
You got trust?
I got
Oh.
trust.
we
Yeah,
we got
yeah.
dislike.
I just-
Corbyn is a bridge too far. I
Which,
cannot.
you
pull the
know,
strip of-
reading some of the post-election experiences by people who worked on that campaign, people who canvassed for labor, they got the same thing. A lot of people got the same thing,
and the polling suggests that was a very high level of concern for a lot of people.
Well, so the residents of Dagenham and Barkingham,
Doggo
yes,
Ham.
I swear,
Barking in Doggo
no,
Ham.
Barking and Dagenham, they were a very big leave town because things like the EU factored into the flight of their former manufacturing base. And a lot of people rightfully were very troubled by Labour's equivocation on leaving the European Union. Woo! Not in a good mood.
No,
Well, I mean,
okay,
I was-
so here's what it was really like. We did the shows and we felt a lot of energy, and it was really staggering that so many people in our audience, they were going out canvassing. And as I understand it, there's more of a canvassing culture there.
Well, yeah, and especially more recently too. Like there is more of a canvassing culture, I think, generally, but like with momentum, they really upped the game. And I think actually they did an impressive job of getting out into what they call marginals, which we've decided doesn't sound very nice.
Oh no, swing voters.
Swing is better,
districts are
right?
better.
Marginals means
Swingers.
it makes it sound like you don't matter, which actually it just means that you're swing.
People also seem more
It means
amenable.
you're a swinger, which is hot. Cool. Yeah.
It's beautiful babies
Yeah,
out
yeah.
there.
They all
Jump and
have tea
jive
parties.
and jazz and wail and dance with my baby. And
But they did do a really good job of getting out to those places. But the thing is, a lot of just like it's pretty clear on the map, like the kind of post-industrial manufacturing places that had always, even throughout Thatcher, gone for labor, just said fuck it, or more frequently than not, didn't show up to the polls at all. Sound familiar?
They had the manpower, but the message, it wasn't connecting. They weren't selling the product.
Yeah.
And
Labor, I think, was unable to regain the trust of voters after, let's be honest, a pretty shit run here for a while.
And one note, so according to exit surveys, about 30% of the 2017 Labor voters who were leavers voted conservative this time around. And that's like a million votes right there. That's if they had stayed with Labor, that would have the margin of victory. They
Which
still
is most of England.
Yeah, I mean they still would have lost, but I mean it would have the margin of victory. But as well, among those voters, like Brexit was like 10% of their concern. 50% of them said, now the reason why we left Labor was because I just don't like him.
Actually, it depends on how you look at how that's worded. So some people said it's a problem with the leadership.
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't necessarily mean I don't like him. That can mean literally a lot of things. That means I don't trust him. That means I think he's like a silly London cosmopolitan. That means I don't like that he's a vegetarian. Like
he's a gooner.
Yeah, he's a gooner. I mean, like they take that stuff very seriously.
Oh yeah, I think honestly,
I think you can attribute a lot more of it to Brexit stuff. More generally, I think the right of Labour is going to try to blame this on the fact that Jeremy Corbyn has been a holdout of the far left of the party. But the thing is, when they poll those same areas, they like the policies.
yeah, exactly. So I mean, I personally, like my personal view of it, I think he was hurt by 5 years of the media, just attacking him relentlessly.
And they did very well. He did very well in those areas 2 years ago with the same fucking manifesto.
Right, 2 years ago when he was a joke to everyone thought, oh, there's no way, anything's going to happen except a Tory victory for Theresa May. So they kept their powder a little dry. But after that, it's like, okay, no, fuck this guy.
And
We've got to wrap.
Really tired too. Like they're like, okay, so like their election seasons are technically short,
Yeah.
like incredibly short.
6 weeks.
But you know how we have been like living through an election for 100 years now?
Endless election, baby. I love it.
Yeah. So it's been like that, but with something called Brexit, which a lot
Yeah.
of people, by the end of it, regardless of how they voted, were just like, for the love of God, please end this.
That's
and
why the
put me out of
Tory
my
slogan was
misery."
so good.
It was a good slogan.
Get
Yeah.
Brexit
It was
done.
a good slogan.
simple.
So you could talk about something else.
And as well,
anything. Yeah.
you know,
Talk about how percentage is bleeding nonce.
like you alluded to this, surveys show that something on the level of 70 to 80% of the country supports renationalization of water, renationalization of the rails, things like that. They supported Labor's economic manifesto as kind of muddled and scattershot the way they rolled that out.
Yeah.
They didn't have like one simple slogan that
Like they
just
did in
encapsulated the idea.
2017.
It was a catalog of things. Len McCluskey, the trade unionist, wrote about this like as soon as it came out, and it's like, well, okay, so the party, it was a good party. They had a good message. They had good initiatives, or that the platform was, not the party itself, because the party itself, by the way, was entirely fraught with. And this also horrifies me too, because it's like, I used to think, well, when Bernie gets the nomination, then it's just going to be clear sailing. It's like, oh no, wait, when Bernie gets the nomination, he's going to be subject to a hostile party.
Oh yeah.
Like McGovern in 72.
Just a quick note on canvassing in Doggo Ham. When I was watching from afar, just checking Twitter or whatever, I started like the very, very early reporting and results, and I knew you guys were in Dagenham, and I saw an early result that said Tories
They're going to lose Doggo
yeah,
Ham.
they're
I heard
going
that
to
too.
lose
Yeah. I
Doggo
was like,
Ham.
fuck.
The Tories are coming out much stronger than expected. And all I could think about was this was because Virgil asked to use the bathroom of every person he knocked on the door of.
These
He's
bleeding lame scrouches, they'll come to your door and ask to use the loo.
Yeah. Just alienating every like older Indian grandmother that lives in that area.
I'm hungry.
you were like,
that smells good.
Can I have a
Can I have some
It
of
smells really good in here.
Is there cilantro in this?
you asked to use the bathroom, and then you asked for a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, and a Red Bull from every single person whose door you knocked on, and they were just like, "It's gone up the apples and pears, mate. These Corbyn supporters are a bunch of
They're wankers.
bunch of wankers from New York."
Yeah. But
Yank
the manifesto
wankers.
was sort of sprawling and strange, and also a lot of the things that the people supported in it, like the nationalization of the rails, is technically illegal under the European Union.
Yeah, right. And, just as well, because this is a good indication that plans don't win elections. And especially because, it's a 6-week election. Maybe the manifesto comes in like week 2